Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 352 of the Red Force Podcast. My name is Salado. Join me today, Christian Salado.
We're here. We're streaming. We're in different locations.
Various
Uh,
machinations.
Shout out Silvers in the chat.
Big Silvers. Shout out the man.
Shout out Silvers.
Subscribe, all that stuff, Christian. We should say that at the start of the show.
Like, subscribe, do all that.
Yeah.
You
know. We're here to talk about one of the most interesting chapters, Christian. We'll get into it.
Is this the official end of Egghead? We say this every week.
I don't know. We're still getting more details. So.
Is this like clear Egghead details that are relevant to the plot? So,
yeah.
I guess this is the final one? I don't know.
A lot of pieces are coming into play.
Eric, a lot of people said the editors were coping and capping about the twist ending of Egghead. Is this the Egghead incident? Sans death?
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. People went too early with the Egghead, blah 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 blah. It's all the details are getting filled in.
Yep.
We'll talk about it in the chapter, but great chapter, Christian, for many reasons.
In all time today, Eric, people are gonna remember this chapter. Is this a generational chapter?
I mean, it changes a lot.
This is gonna be a moment people are gonna remember.
Right. Changes. Right? It's one of those chapters that changes the plot.
This is a landmark chapter.
Right.
Oda's intent chapter. Where we're going for the forward. What he's willing to do, Eric. What he's willing to do. What he's willing to achieve.
Who he wants in the front lines, Christian. The panel comes back.
Landmark chapter.
Right.
What? How many landmark chapters do you think we got from Egghead? Of course, the fights. You got Lord Blackbeard. You got
Kid Shanks.
You got Garpak Kuzan. And then Egghead Island itself. I get Luffy.
Well, Vegapund's speech and the whole, the panel, Christian, the famous 12-person panel.
12-person panel. You got the generational Kruma backstory.
Right.
Alright.
The Buccaneers, the Nika Law.
The Buccaneers,
the
Nika
Law, Christian.
First time we got to hear Imu's voice.
That's right.
Haki revelations, Eric. Devil fruits and their origins. Many landmark key events to the story.
More details being revealed.
So, heaps of landmark chapters at Egghead.
Right.
I'm gonna wait until we actually hit the shores of Albath to give my Egghead rating, Eric.
That's a good point. We keep on saying it's confusing, but you know.
We're gonna wait till the end, till actually Straw Hats are actually on Albath before we give our rating.
Yes.
But Egghead continues. Great chapter. Any news, Eric, though, of the anime? Of course, Imu's voice. Question mark. No one knows who the voice actor is.
People say it gets Oda with distortion.
Distortion. A clear voice distortion.
But who knows? Could be anyone.
So, is Imu a demon? I've heard many interesting theories coming from this chapter, Eric. Because this chapter confirms Imu's given the power.
Let me ask you a
question. Is he giving him the haki?
Yes,
probably.
We'll talk about it in the chat. Let me ask you a question. I saw a video with Braga and Sai.
Yeah.
Is the name Imu Nerona known?
Well, doesn't Cobra say he knows the name?
I think so, right? But he was saying that like Ivankov knows the name as well, but I couldn't remember. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nerona Imu, Eric.
Right.
No picture available. Interesting Onepiece wiki. We see what you did there. Alright?
Because if the character's known in history but is supposed to be dead, I guess that makes sense, right?
Alright, so according to the Onepiece wiki, the book Ivankov used to identify the possible connections between Imu of the present and Saint Imu is titled Genesis, likely a reference to the book of Genesis, Eric.
Right, so so theoretically there's a government propaganda of the forming of the government, and Imu Nerona was one of the 20 kings etc.
So, a lot of Christian mythology going into this, Eric. Of course, the Satan references with the pentagram and demons and that kind of stuff. So, we will see.
It's a little interesting detail.
Of course, Eric, King Nero or Emperor Nero executing Christians. Maybe there's something there with Joy Boy. Who knows?
Right.
All right.
As we saw,
So,
Christian Imu's sweating bullets, dying on the floor from that Joy Boy haki.
yeah. So, so the name is known within history.
But he's supposed to be dead, obviously.
Supposed to be dead.
Right.
So we will find out more about Imu eventually. But that voice, Eric, distorted. They don't want you to know. Eric, the fact that they don't want you to know,
It's up in the air.
it means it's not a normal answer.
Right.
They don't want you to know. The anime doesn't want you to know. Oda doesn't want you to know. So
Right,
they're going to all lengths to hide Imu.
Right.
So he's either an alien or someone we know.
I guess until Oda reveals it, it's going to be obscured.
Yeah, I think at this point he's
Oda,
a goddamn
please,
alien.
Please, Oda. We'll talk about silhouettes as well in the chapter, Christian.
Okay.
But
Alright.
anyway, anime took forever to climb some stairs, but cool moment. Next week, some Zaba hype. We got some Zaba hype this week as well with some kung fu action, Christian.
Kung fu action from Zaba, the Flame Emperor.
That's right.
Yeah, you gotta assume these dudes, these knights in this armor.
Right.
You gotta assume that they, I don't know, pacifista level.
Pacifista.
Are these dudes like the foot soldier god knights?
I'm going to assume they're like slaves that are forced
Slave knights.
to do it.
Guard duty.
Right.
There wouldn't be celestial, but I wonder where they get them from.
There wouldn't be celestial dragons being guards, surely not.
No. Maybe, who knows? But those dudes, you gotta assume they're gotta be somewhat able to do something.
Right.
But Zabo easily dispatched them,
A poll on Twitter, Christian, I put out Zabo versus Zoro. Zabo winning by 1%.
That's it. And that's a W for Zabo, because we know Twitter.
And a sizable amount of votes, Christian, 2,500 votes. So, not a small poll. But there you go. Zabo making moves, Dragon maybe making moves, Christian. Maybe Dragon will move. Well, let's get into the chapter.
We'll talk about it in the chapter.
Christian, chapter.
Chapter 11:25. What death means? Question mark, Eric.
Right.
Yamato Adventures. Minatomo is missing, the old man carpenter that Frankie was hanging out with.
Some kind of kidnapper going on. Who could it be?
Who is it? Lafitte.
Maybe.
That's snatched, Eric.
Well, who was it last time? An old woman.
I guess so.
Who was kidnapped the time before? Because someone else was kidnapped. There was a woman.
Oh yeah, Yamato stopped a robbery on the highway.
There's a bunch of shit going on in Wano, you know.
Eric, of course we know this man is the master builder of Kaido's castle, Eric.
Where they got
so
the
could
plans
it
for
could it be could it be one of the beast pirates taking the revenge?
There's a speed.
Who knows?
There's a Hold'em Christian.
This cover story, who knows?
It's a Batman.
Is it Haki Master Batman? Wano anime.
So stupid. But what are you gonna do about that? Alright, so the chapter starts with Yamato.
Eric, the Seraphim need to be recharged. What do you think about this?
Do we think battery life or green blood? What do you think?
It's unclear whether they're androids or actual clones. Because they can shoot shit. They're gonna be Kuma-esque cyborgs. But it's also unclear if the pacifistas are straight robots or clones with robot parts.
That's what I'm saying, because if they're human beings with robot parts...
Luffy's just killing them.
Yeah, but the Seraphim assumably are like...
They got brains and stuff.
Human beings. you'd
Yeah.
imagine. So maybe they're talking about like the tech involved with like the green blood and the laser beam shit and
We never heard of crewman needing to be recharged.
right.
He
So
stayed at the Sunny defending it.
that's what I'm saying.
So
So
it could be green blood.
maybe they're just full robot, and I don't know about the DNA they're using. Maybe it's some kind of like brain pattern.
But they have the Lunarian infinite flame.
and they have growing bodies. So I don't know how
It's probably green blood. You got to assume it's green blood.
Right.
All right.
But they last at least 24 hours. That's enough time.
Enough for a battle. Right. You know what I mean? They last enough for a battle. Rob and Kaku make it back out. Rob messed up. Alright, but so is Zoro. You saw those bandages?
Yeah.
I cannot wait till Toei extend this fight.
They're gonna extend the shit out of it.
They're gonna extend the shit out of it. And people on Twitter are gonna be mad. Rob claims that he killed Stussy. Do you reckon he coped that? Or he thinks he killed her with that Shigon?
People reading between the lines saying he didn't kill Stussy because Kaku was like, hold up, Rob. Because if you see Kaku's reaction behind him, he's not like he's saying.
He said Rob Lucci wouldn't be so soft.
But then again, Rob Lucci.
Kaku could have said she died. Kaku could have said, because last time Rob saw Stussy, he did the Shigon and stabbed her, and she fell to the ground.
Right, but
that's the last time Rob saw her.
Rob has softened for his boy Kaku. Maybe Kaku's upset she's died, but I don't think she. I don't know. It's hard. It could be many things. It could be Oda Meiman and she turns up 400 chapters later or in a cover story. It could be that Rob spared her and just said she died.
Yeah.
Because there was no fanfare over her death. Right?
No.
And questions still need to be asked about Miss Bucking and
Weevil and all that kind of bullshit. So. Now, do we want to address the Frankie debacle?
What Frankie debacle?
The Queen connection, all that shit. People
thought,
still bagging on about it.
The show? I thought you were gonna do SBS/Viva cards. No.
No, we got Garling to talk about it. We got real things to talk about. Okay. We don't have time to talk about Viva card nonsense.
Did you see the Guernica controversy?
The debacle, Eric.
Right.
You know, CP0 is known as the world's strongest agency, so it's a mistranslation or a misinterpretation. But it doesn't matter.
The Zoro fans were losing their mind, not taking a title seriously, Christian, which I find convenient and interesting.
Eric, the logic, you know the logic.
But anyway, that's beside the point. The Scion, the Cuddy Scion, Christian. The Cuddy Flame, the Queen connection. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Yes.
I'm saying it. I'm putting my money on Weevil.
Does it matter? No.
Okay.
Christian's putting money. Weevil's the child.
Because it also matches the timeline.
Right.
So there you go. That's and he was in Mads.
Queen needs his own child for experimentation. That's possible.
I mean, why wouldn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Eric, we see that Saturn claims that he has York Punk Records and the power plant that he can recreate the Mother Flame. Alright?
Right.
The Vice Admirals are annoyed that they allowed Bonnie and Luffy to escape. They want to follow them to Albaf. What a joke. What a joke this is.
Did they not see them get
What are they talking about? Are they out of their goddamn mind? Did they think they could do anything to the Straw Hats?
Ridiculous.
Frankie one-shot them. Frankie. You're not even getting up to Jinbei, Zoro.
Bums.
You're not even getting anywhere near Luffy.
It's ridiculous.
The weak trio could take out these bums, alright? What are they doing?
But Saturn
thinking they can do anything.
Saturn wants no part of Albaf, Christian.
He's like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about Albaf. Absolutely not. Alright? The biggest failure is the Vegapunk message. Alright? We get a little small flashback, Eric. Saturn decided not to scrap Emmett as he could use it to make great weapons, Eric. They made zero progress until Vegapunk turned up.
Right. Some 140 years later.
So Saturn, the man of science, can't do anything.
And these scientific bombs he's got as well.
Eric, how long has Saturn been alive? How many inventions has he made?
I'm gonna assume 800 years.
The whole time.
I'm gonna assume so.
Eric, but so you reckon he's an OG?
Yeah.
I don't reckon any of these bums are OG.
Maybe longer than 200 years, Christian, because he's an old man 200 years ago. So maybe 300 years, 400 years. Who knows?
Maybe Nolan. Maybe he's part of Nolan era.
He's been alive so long, but recently he thought to blend Adele fruit and inject it into Bonnie.
Yeah,
that's the level of science he's conducting. This
idiot. Man, he's stupid. Alright, Saturn, your credentials are very suspect, alright? Apparently, your man of science, you cannot be fooled. Okay,
he's been outplayed every time.
Vegapunk just outplaying him easily.
Even in death, Vegapunk outplays him.
He just gets outplayed non-stop. Right. So, Doberman asks if Vegapunk's messages were true. Saturn hits him with that blast, Eric.
That I-beam.
Bloodied, knocked down on the ground, Eric.
Right.
But Eric, the cloud, the labosphere starts to generate clouds, but York shoots a laser beam and knocks off the Punk Records section. So the world government still have the power plant, Eric.
Right.
So the only thing they don't have is Punk Records, but York can still connect to it, so whatever, alright?
They're about to take the whole thing.
Yeah, but it got blown off or something.
Right.
Then we cut over to the Celestial Dragons. They're upset about the food shortage. What's Akainu doing about this? Why couldn't he stop Kuruma, this bum?
I like how Akainu gets roasted by the...
Akainu just got roasted.
Getting cooked by these idiots.
He's just gonna roast
the whole issue? Just get the food up there. I don't know what the problem is.
Eric, it's the logistics.
It's been 2 weeks. They couldn't figure it more. It's been longer.
Eric, they need a high quality food that only grows in a certain region.
Big Mom went on a killing spree getting all the wedding cakey ingredients.
Hey, Big Mom.
Vice Admirals to fucking do some shit.
They're working on it, Eric. The food store has been attacked. Apparently, W played from Dragon, so.
Right.
Then Eric. We cut over to the Chamber of Power, Eric. And a man walks in.
With
Saint Figureland Garling.
With the aura.
With the aura. He's got that guard body. We didn't expect him to have that guard body.
Big body.
We didn't expect him to have that guard body, Eric.
Right.
He walks in with that guard body. Right?
Immediately looks like the strongest.
I mean, he immediately takes over this group, Eric.
Right.
Garling walks in. The elders are pissed off. What are you doing here? Why are you here? We are the powers.
Respect
you must
us.
talk to us. You respect us. Garling just says, I'm here. I'm one of you. I am the new elder. I've been appointed.
I'm the
Godhead. People says, Garling's got no science credentials. Neither did Saturn.
Saturn doesn't know what the fuck's going on, so.
So Garling has been appointed a new elder. This is crazy. Did you think Saturn would die via Imu?
I didn't think Saturn would be replaced because of the whole Blackbeard plotline, Christian, with Devon. So this is put a little wrench in the system.
Yeah. But Eric, Saturn walking in. He's been appointed. We cut over back to Saturn. He's died. The Imu power is draining out of his body. He explodes with Haki in black flames. Nothing is left but bones. So this 100% confirms that at least the demon power is coming from Imu. And the immortality.
The regen gimmick is coming from Imu. Minimum. Maximum, it's their entire power.
And Haki.
I guess so.
Because everyone who comments on Elder's Haki say it's unsettling,
Evil,
menacing, evil. Right?
and Joy Boy not Joy Boy. Imu was affected by Joy Boy's haki in some way, so he felt it.
Yeah.
So they're connected via some kind of power.
Alright.
Maybe Imu's borrowing, giving them the power of his whole kit or whatever.
Yeah. So, nothing left but bones, Eric. Sad and dead, smoked. I can take him off by top 30 now, Eric.
Sizzled.
Do you love how we're gonna get out of free card because Sad is dead and I don't have to put him on the top 30? Do you love that get out of free jail
Bum
card?
behavior.
Alright, he's out of the. He's dead.
Shit.
I can take him off.
Right.
Alright, maybe top 30s will talk about how the fuck do you even scale these dudes now that we know it's his Imu's power, what counts, what doesn't count.
Without the Imu power, half of them die because they're old.
I mean, probably all of them are Garling.
Oh.
Because they're all there in...
But it depends how old Sanji's dad is, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I guess so. Eric. Punk Records is flying high above the clouds. Vegapunk has fused into one body. It is not good.
It's a sad...
It looks terrible.
It's sad, but...
Vegapunk is heading to Weatheria, Eric. Vegapunk knows. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name.
Right.
Haradus.
The weather wizard that helped Nami out.
Weather wizard that helped Nami, Eric. Who would have thought this character would become relevant?
Nobody.
Who would have thought Weatheria would become relevant?
But here we are.
Eric, do you know anything about this character?
They're scientists, they use weather powers, they sell rain to make money. What else?
Haradus made the island himself, Eric, with his own weather science. Weatheria is a man-made sky island.
Right.
So you would have thought Vegapunk maybe collaborated with this man to make his Sky Island. Also the knots and shit, but we know that. Alright. We don't know if that's ancient technology or his technology.
Well,
So-
it's in the past, so it's assumably ancient technology.
Yeah. Meanwhile on Kawabaka, Eric, Volkov realizes that all the wolf bridges are made because of the flooding world. Dragon says the time is now, Eric. I will make my move before the people have to fight over safe land. It's finally time, Eric.
When? I
It
thought
is
he was waiting for the
finally-
Holy Knights to come back, Christian. Because it's impossible to do anything against Mojoa.
Eric, the time is now. We cannot wait around. We have to act.
Okay.
The time is now. But there you go. Thoughts, comments about this chapter, Eric?
Infinitely interesting. The whole Garling situation.
Garlic changes everything. We'll get into a talk about the show, Eric, but
Does Garling have ambitions for the throne, Christian?
that's what I'm going to get to, Eric. He turns up and he wants to do a good job. He's saying, let's get this shit sorted.
Right.
You know?
Which is interesting. But we'll talk about in topic of the show, Christian. 10 out of 10 chapter. Changes a lot, moves the plot forward, progression, details, tidbits. We get to see some nice... and this is the thing, right? People think world building is X building and X location,
No.
right? But
It's connectivity, Eric.
it's the systems, Christian. Now we're starting to understand how the Gorosei work and the systems and the political systems involved in all these areas and locations. That's the most important part. Anyone can write a bunch of cities and locations. It's
Yeah.
about the systems and the interconnecting level of systems that make world building good.
See, Eric, that's right. And people misunderstand that. They think apparently Nen from Hunter x Hunter's world building. What? Huh? What are we doing?
No.
But Eric, I want to talk about something very interesting for the official.
What?
Saturn, when he's dying, is talking to Imu. He goes, "Great Imu." Saturn goes, "Saturn, why did you allow Joy Boy to escape?" He begs for mercy and says, "I did not know these powers were so nebulous," confirming he was not around for the original Joy Boy. Also, Nebulous, I don't know about that translation. Because
He's like, I couldn't handle him.
it just means ill-defined.
Right.
So he's like, how could I predict the Nika? So this confirms Saturn was not there for the OG Joy Boy. I don't think any of the Gorosei were there.
Right.
Because of the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia debacle.
I can see it. And we still don't really know why Emmett attacked Mary Jo 200 years ago. So
we don't know, but it reacted to Joy Boy's rhythm.
Right.
And Saturn confirms that.
But this is the
it acted to help Luffy.
This is the first time Saturn's seen the Nika
in
combat.
So, yeah. I don't think any of these guys, because you would imagine, why would Imu keep any of the people that he betrayed alive?
Right.
You know what I mean? He would have to set up his cabal.
But you'd assume they've been around a long time. But
Eric, watch. I know it's going to be cringe. I don't know, but I know Oda's going to do it. Noshijuro fought Ryuma. It's going to happen.
Noshijuro fought Ryuma.
It's going to happen.
Did he lose?
Noshijuro, warrior god of finance, Eric.
City of Gold.
Maybe that's why he's the warrior god of finance, because he stole the city of gold.
Hey, it's possible.
So, you know, we all know, Eric, come on, you know it's true. You know Oda's going to pull some shit like that.
Is the warrior god is the warrior god of agriculture going to get lit up by the CDs, Christian, for no food?
I don't know if it's his responsibility to fuel the stalls, but I doubt Jupiter's gonna get yeeted out of there, right?
What agricultural projects is he running, by the way?
None. Eric, these girls, they don't actually run their portfolios.
Saturn had Egghead to look after.
That's true.
But where are the portfolios? And Noshijuro makes sense, because there's a money and economic systems going on.
Yeah. It's very true, Eric. But
Noshijuro would be very upset the expenditure this whole debacle is going to cost them. Quite the significant
a lot of money. Quite significant, Eric. But I don't believe these Gorosei were there for the OG. I just don't believe it. The way they talk, the way they act.
They don't know what's going on. They fumble.
They don't know what's going on.
These guys people think they're like competent, but they forget everything before Egghead and even post Egghead. These guys have no idea what's going on.
Let's talk about Oda's intent with Imu.
Okay.
It's clear that he's trying to hype up Imu.
Right.
The brutal nature of the villain, him taking out the incompetence. You know, it's what we want to see from a villain, Eric. You can't deny it.
Right.
It's what you want to see from a villain.
Why hasn't he done this multiple times?
Eric, this is a fuck up on a level that is unprecedented. Alright? The Vegapunk message single-handedly undid 800 years of silence.
Right. Big issue.
You can't tolerate that.
Well, it was more for letting the Nika escape.
I guess it's a compounding.
He wants that Nika, Christian. He knows that Nika's gonna fuck him up.
He's shaken.
Right.
So, there you go, Eric. Again, 10 out of 10 chapter. Generational chapter. People are gonna remember this one, Eric. The Imu brutality and the Garling reveal. We're gonna remember this forever.
The Garling, we're gonna talk about a topic of the show, I imagine. But the Garling thing's gonna bring up interesting topics. Makes the Gorosei relevant. We like to see it. I'm not really. When I say Gorosei, I'm referring to these fucking 5 bums. I'm not talking about Garling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's an elder now, so you're gonna say, is it a Garp situation?
It's Garling and the Gorosei. That's what I'm gonna say.
There you go. There you go. Let's move into How Strong is Shanks.
How strong is Shanks?
How strong is Shanks? Every week we come to the question of how strong is Shanks? And every week we answer, Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the Gold King. But there are people out there who still say Kaido's top 1.
Yes.
There are still people out there that say Dragon's top 1. The man who has finally decided to act. After how many years? 20 years? Now's the time, Eric. Now that he has to do something, his time's up. Let's see what he's got. There are people out there who say Blackbeard's strongest.
Baby.
The man who now has no plan. There are people out there, Eric, who say Imu's the strongest. The man with the demon voice. But Eric, the worst of them all, the people out there who think Mihawk's the strongest. Maybe the most irrelevant top tier that there is. This man has no plot relevance at all. All he is there to do is fight Zoro. He might be the most irrelevant top. Is he the most relevant top tier?
Yes, but yeah, we'll talk about it. We should talk about that at some point.
Maybe next week, Eric.
Right.
And they're all wrong. They're all incorrect because Shanks is stronger. Shanks the God King. And every big 100% factual information is table. This week's evidence is that he's so strong that he can knock out normal Navy goods and not need Imu's Haki to refuse into a scream to do it. Shanks is stronger. Shanks the God King. Moving on to talk about the show. Garling changed it all, Eric.
This Garling plotline has evolved quick.
Evolved far beyond what we thought it would be.
And the man was never silhouetted. Oda's going in heavy, he's going in fast.
He gave him Source in the God Valley flashback.
Right.
So Oda is fast tracking this man Garling. Alright. Now what does this mean, Eric? Obviously, this confirms that Imu gave the Elders immortality and most likely their demon powers.
Right.
Do you want to make a prediction on Garling's demon?
For some Japanese bullshit, I don't fucking know.
A lot of people are saying werewolf.
Memers are saying a rat, Christian.
A rat. Oh,
there is a rat yokai. Kind of looks like Master Splinter.
That's kind of cool.
From Ninja Turtles. So.
Oh. But I'm kind of everyone's kind of saying werewolf because of the moon motif.
Maybe it's possible.
I mean, there's a sandworm. That's not a Japanese yokai.
That's true. Maybe Oda's gone into Doom recently.
Eric Jamie from the chat says an actual griffin.
I've seen that suggestion.
But like, it's not demonic enough.
You
know what I mean?
I guess you could light it on fire and shit, you know.
But then we got Mars, who's a bird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Knowing Oda, it's not going to be silence.
It's kind of like Noshijuro because he needs the hybrid form to use the sword, so
yeah,
he has to use the sword in some kind of thing. This is the thing about like
maybe it's Cerberus.
Maybe.
So you go hybrid and run around with the dog legs.
I feel like Garling.
Yeah.
Garling's the star of the show now, right?
100%. He walks in with the aura. He says, "I'm here. I'm sorting it out."
I haven't seen the Zoro fans pivot to Garling yet.
They say both of them, Eric. He's gonna fight both of them.
Both of them? That's crazy.
I don't know about that, but
yeah.
Eric, this shows to me that Imu has great respect for Garling. Because he goes, "This is going to be a great age of chaos. I need a man to take charge. Let me hire Garling. Then we get him in here."
I like how he swooped in there as well. He's like, "Let's make this a great world, Christian." But you know that the sinister intent is crazy.
You know
this man's idea Eric, of a wonderful world isn't great.
No. And you know he's big broing the elders.
Oh yeah.
He's 100% big broing them. He's like, yeah.
You tried to contained me
tried
for
to
so
keep me. You
long.
tried to keep me out for 70 years.
I'm here now.
Guess who won all the tournaments? You
All
dumb
right.
bitches.
Christian,
Eric, you can't forget that.
the
Wait, you can't
tournaments.
forget. You can't forget that Saturn was in those tournaments, and he lost every time to Garling.
I don't. His son wasn't in the tournament.
He was there.
Yeah, but I don't know if he was like participating.
Why not?
He's an old man. He's probably just looking over it.
He wanted to kill Kuruma so bad, so he was participating.
I don't think it's ever suggested he was. I don't never got the impression he was participating.
Garling keeps on beating him in these races, Eric. He must have been. These girls must be mad at Garling.
I don't know about that.
Taking their limelight.
Let's talk about the Figureland plotline. It builds,
Yeah.
it builds, it builds.
It builds.
Where does it lead? Is Shanks involved in the Figureland plotline? Are you ready to jump on the Shanks
Alright.
hype?
Let's get to the power scaling of this situation. Alright?
Right.
Garling, obviously, around that Garp level.
Right.
I'll just try to source him, put him on equal terms as Roger and Garp. It's obvious he's doing it in the God Valley flashback. He wants his old
And
man.
now he's got those armor buffs cushions, so he could be
That's what I
even
mean.
more bad.
Does this put Garling on the coveted Emperor tier?
Well, it depends. If indeed Shanks has to deal with his family, then this man has to be Shanks level with the armor buffs. Because, if Shanks is going to be involved in the final war and the final,
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We need someone to hold off Shanks. All right. Let's be honest. Let's be real. In the final war, it has to be the Luffy show.
Right.
So we need someone there to hold off Shanks.
And I feel like this.
Elder Garling, maybe.
This whole Figureland plotline is, in my mind, some shit for Shanks to do.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, right? He deals with his family's past. He deals with that. He takes out the Figureland family.
So are the redhead pirates gonna take out the God Knights?
It could be take out the Gorosei. We don't know.
The Gorosei. But you would imagine Shanks has the haki capable enough to get rid of that immortality bullshit.
Yeah.
You would imagine that.
You would assume so. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. Garling is separate from the Holy Knights now, so
Yeah.
you'd assume the Supreme Commander gets elevated. That's the man in the silhouette. Are you ready to say that man in the silhouette on the 12-man panel is the Holy Knight Supreme Commander now?
But I don't know why we're doing two Figureland plots.
It's hype. What do you mean?
It's hype. All right, it's hype, but
Well, they're part of the same thing. You assume
I still think it's the man marked by flame. I still think that because this man has to. This man is part of the plot.
But now the Holy Knights aren't represented.
Who cares?
It obviously matters of the Holy Knights.
Yeah, but let's break this down. Are they gonna have a plot line?
Yes,
Now that Garling's gone.
Yes,
It's gone to the Elders. Will the Holy Knights have a plot line?
Yes, because it's supposed to act. That's the entirety of Dragon's plan.
All right. Will they be sent to Elbaf to act?
They'll be sent somewhere to act. So
I'm very mad that Joy Boy escaped.
Garling might dispatch them right now. That might be the first move.
Dispatch the
Holy Knights.
Dispatch the Holy Knights to
calm the world or whatever.
Do we get
And then,
Shanks' evil twin in Elbaf?
And then you can see the double page spread, Supreme Commander of the Holy Knights, and it's just like the whole page is the reveal, and it looks exactly like Shanks.
Yeah. Because Eric, I'd be very mad that Joy Boy's out there.
Right.
Does he dispatch the God Knights to take care of him?
Maybe that's Figureland's. Maybe that's Garling's mission now. Take out Nico.
Eric, his mission is to manufacture the Mother Flame. That's all we got so far.
Yeah, but he's a hunter Christian.
We know this. We know this.
The Holy
But
Knights.
if I'm telling you, that's why we're gonna give the Holy Knights their own plot. Because Garling's doing his own thing.
The Holy Knights plot's already established with Dragon, so that might go that way.
Alright. Do we get one God Knight in Elbaf?
Holy Knight?
Dispatched. Holy Knight.
Maybe. Of course, Christian, there's a man in a silhouette on the shores of Elbaf.
Or like a 3-man squad. That man's a bum, alright? Let's not get real.
Who's this man?
This man's like a literal homeless man. Probably Scott Gabon, alright, at this point.
Okay.
It's not a Holy Knight, alright? He's too much of a bum. Like a literal homeless man, alright? So... That throws a wrench into it, Eric. But Eric, my question to you is, did Garling know about Imu before this appointment?
Well, he got a letter.
He got a letter.
Maybe he's not in the know. Only the Goros area.
He's about to find out.
Oh yeah. Does he want the throne? Is he that kind of man?
Eric, you would assume so.
Right.
I don't see him bowing down
He's very
completely to Imu.
He's very much a supreme elitist.
Yeah. But Eric, with the new position comes new expectations, Eric.
You just tell Garling is designed for combat just by his design Oda gave him.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna impact something. But Eric, you know Garling has to do something crazy with his new position. He's just been appointed. What's his first order of business? Is he going to nuke an island?
I don't know if we got enough Mother Flame. I don't know what's going on. Maybe his first point of business.
They have the power plant, Eric.
Yeah,
it's got flame in it.
I don't know how much they got left and how much.
They got flame in it. Sure. Apparently, a portion of that flame was used for.
Well, where would they strike?
The nuke. Egghead, blow it off the map.
They need Egghead. Why would they blow up Egghead?
They moved the power plant to the Holy Land. You know, it's still on the cloud.
I don't know.
Kalabaka, they just nuke it.
It's kind of hard. I don't know. I don't know what Garling's first mission is. It's gonna be something.
Eric,
I don't know if we see Garling again. Like, I don't know if because usually Oda doesn't continue these things. He just kind of drops them in the post arc, and then next post arc we see what's going on. So it's not like they go in depth as to what they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
We might shuffle the deck. We might see the new highlight later, but they don't really act in the post arcs. It's more a setup for what they're gonna do than They don't do much.
Yeah, I imagine Garling will do something crazy, Eric.
Right.
But
that might happen in the middle of Elbaf. You know, we cut away. It's possible now. So
we can't forget that Garling was brought in to quell the new age of chaos.
yes.
All right. So who knows what he's gonna do? He's gonna do something crazy. They have the Mother Flame now, so I imagine more nukes will go off. Depending on where, probably the Rebellion Islands, you would assume.
Right.
Do we get a reveal of the weapon soon? I don't know. Or is that a final war reveal?
It's kind of hard to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's difficult to see what Oda's gonna do in the post arc. You know, how much he gives you, how much he's given you enough. If we started Albaf next week, I'd be alright. We've got enough post arc stuff. We need the reactions to the news and stuff, but like we don't need any more big reveals, right?
We need conclusions to Blackbeard and a few other things.
Sure.
But I feel plus everyone wants bounties and shit.
I feel like we got enough source already, though. It's not like we need another big source moment, right?
I want to see Boa make a move.
Boa.
Because after the Blackbeard incident, I think she has to make her alliances known.
Right. Okay.
I want to see Boa make a move with Rayleigh. Rayleigh's back.
You'd imagine you get all... Because we got Ivankov and Dragon this week. You'd imagine all the big players talk about their plans about the
because
fight,
look,
right?
because the people we didn't see during the Egghead kind of thing, right. We didn't see Boa, we didn't see Shanks. We kind of saw Shanks Sort of. We saw his boat. We didn't actually see Shanks.
Rayleigh was getting drunk as well.
Really.
But he's
so
back on the bar, so yeah. I don't know.
I want to see Boa. I want to see what Fujitora is up to. We haven't got a Fujitora update in a very long time. What's his plan?
How does people react to Jay's death?
Yeah.
That's also an interesting point. But anyway, let's move into questions.
Yeah.
Questions. What do we got?
From Trey. Oh my god. Tryron Lehman Stand.
Jesus.
I don't know what. It's a lot. What are you guys' top 3 characters in the series? Number 1, Shanks.
Yes.
Alright. Number 2, Monkey D. Eric.
Yes.
Number 3. Maybe after Egghead, I'll put Kuruma.
We'll go Kuruma.
You gotta respect Kuruma. Alright. From Young Obama. When will Frankie meet his Papa Queen and have a dance battle? You know,
Queen's thin now, so
Queen's thin? Maybe that reunion will happen.
Right.
Maybe we'll get a Queen update, Eric. What about that Big Bob Cardo update?
True, we do need that.
You forgot about that, didn't you? From Bane, what are your overall Egghead arc rankings? We're not gonna do the arc rankings until it's actually over, alright?
But it's high.
Yeah. Alveston Berry, if Frankie is Queen's son, then why doesn't he know Vegapunk? Again, it creates a lot of issues. Again, the Vegapunk timeline, he already left Mads. I'm confused. Eric, it's a lot.
Right.
From Sigma Shanks. Praise be the God King and his family, Eric. I believe that is from Sigma.
Shout out Sigma.
From Chris D. Great chapter. Diff did not predict Imu killing off Saturn. Does even more of this shock/aura and perfect timing with the anime voice uncredited. Now with Garling taking the 5th spot, do you think he will become immortal and get his own power from Imu? I'm guessing a brand new mythical animal to match Garling. Any guesses could be Odok always cooking with just one move and ripples that affect so much. It's true. A lot of ripples.
Indeed.
So, Garling, I'm gonna put Cerberus.
Give me a bat vampire creature.
Bad vampire. He's got that Dracul vibes, Eric. Right. But Eric, I want to say Cerberus because I don't want Blackbeard to have it.
Okay.
There you go. From Midnight Detective, do you think the other world bridges will end up converging at a single point? You would assume that, right?
It's been the theory for years, right, that the bridges is what makes the Wargamma flag, right?
Yeah. So, where are there? Do we know there are? They're all in the blues.
Yeah.
There's one in West Blue.
They're all in the blues.
They're all in the blues. But you would assume their origin point is Mojo, but we never see them connect.
They're still.
Where's their origin point?
Where do they start? Yeah, that's a real question.
You would assume they would loop all the way back around and hit the red line.
It kind of feels like no one knows where they start. They're so long.
Yeah, they're like an ancient. Everyone's forgotten why they're building them. Right. They're just like we're forced to build them. We don't know what the fuck's going on with this shit. But yeah. From Greed Tornadex. What power will Imu grant Garling? I think Werewolf would be great when he's in full moon form. It's just a giant, terrifying wolf creature. His body, okay.
Maybe he looks like Guinness Cushion from Toriko.
I guess werewolf. Everyone wants werewolf, but it's not going to be werewolf.
Right.
His body the next straw hat, and is Garling the father of Bonnie.
It's possible. It's not possible, actually. We did the math before. Yeah, it's not possible.
Why not?
Um,
You say Garlic can't get it done 2 years ago? Or 4 years? How old is Bonnie? 8? 12 years ago, Garlic could get it done?
what was it? I can't remember what I was talking about. Like,
Static confirmed
right.
it wasn't here. He's not the father. Static confirmed that.
Right. It could be Garling. I don't know. Weird move for Garling, but sure.
Why not? He doesn't give a fuck.
Okay.
The Midnight Detective. Why do One Piece fans want events to immediately happen and rush the story?
Because they want the hype, Christian, but the
We
slow
want the
build
hype.
is what matters.
Eric, we want the hype. We want that hit. We want that cocaine drip straight into the veins. We don't want to wait. All right, that's what happens. From MB's up. Now that Luffy could become giant and many of his opponents are also going to be massive, do you think Blackbeard will also have some way to be gigantic?
He's already pretty
Maybe,
no.
Eric, maybe he gets an armor form.
Maybe.
Maybe he gets an armor form from the third devil fruit, which Eric hates.
It still hasn't happened yet.
Would you allow the third devil fruit to be armors?
Sure.
Would you allow it?
Okay. I'll allow it. But it still hasn't happened yet, Christian. We've been waiting.
That's true. We're waiting many decades. From Miyama. What can other writers learn about world building from One Piece, as this chapter is another example of great interconnectivity that only makes the final war and saga one of the most interesting events in fictional history. Eric, it's about saving the reveals.
Well, it's also about the details, right? You got to put in the time and the effort. You introduce Umet, that adds another layer. You introduce the judicial system, that adds another layer. The taxation system, that adds another layer. The whole hierarchies and systems.
But Eric, very slowly do we do this. Most of the time, we're doing contained story arcs on an island.
Right, you don't.
Very rarely do you get things.
You don't do it by exposition. You do it by exploring the world at a natural pace.
Yeah. That takes a lot of time.
Let's say your characters go to an X nation. That nation is having, I don't know, famine issues or whatever. Or
but this is almost an unprecedented level, because no one's written a story this long and could pull this off.
Right. But yeah, don't write
You know what I mean?
pages and pages and pages of exposition. No one gives a fuck. You go to an interesting one.
Yeah. No one's done this. So Oda's coloring in his own territory right now. You can't expect someone that has like 100 chapter story to get to this level of world building. It takes time. It's slow. It's sometimes you go 5 years without nothing.
Scale isn't the important part. It's about the depth.
Yeah.
And all systems should fold into each other, as does the world do. Christian, when say, the interest rate goes up, the price of beef goes up, how does that affect the farmers, etc., etc.?
Yeah, it's about creating interesting depth. That's what it's really about. It's like layers of.
Just like in the real world,
complexity.
It's all connected. A minor change can have massive ripple effects.
And we talked about it before. Oda is a gardener in terms of story. He plants the seeds. He lets them cook.
I'm sure he never
picks them. He plants them. He's got all these tools.
He probably never intended to have the Gorosei do anything with their strength, but he made it that way because they were there.
Yeah. So he's always got like 10 different things he can pull at a single time.
Right, and he probably drew To Kill a Wolf with the idea, the flesh. Now he pulls that idea.
Yeah. So he's always got something cooking. Alright. So he's always got something cooking.
He also does
But again, Eric, we can't forget Nika, what was that? I don't know.
Yeah, let's be honest. He doesn't really commit heavy
The concepts.
to the concepts, which gives him massive wiggle room. Because he never really goes, "This is the hard rules."
Yeah.
There's systems that are vague enough so he can put the next piece in.
Yeah.
But not so vague that they're nebulous.
Yeah. So it just looks like he's writing the story.
Right. But if there if there was a million rules, and it would just fall apart because it would be so complex, and eventually he
Contradictions
himself.
and.
Right.
But look, as we say it all the time, all Oda would have to do was mention Nika in Fishman Island. That's all he had to do.
Right.
Just say the name once. You know? But no. Could have had Hardy Jones mention it as a fisherman. As someone who craves to be free.
Could have had Nolan mention
You could have Hardy Jones mention Nika. Especially because it's apparently so important to fisherman culture.
Right.
But no. Didn't happen. Alright? So I guess that's the one instance where Oda didn't really. He had the Joyboy concept, he just didn't have the Nika concept.
I think Luffy was going to have the Joy Boy fruit. And he changed it to a different mythical species.
Okay.
That's what I think was gonna happen. Luffy was gonna have literally the Joy Boy fruit.
Yeah.
And then Oda changed his mind because he literally does have the Joy Boy fruit, as in he's got the same fruit as Joy Boy had.
Yeah.
But it was probably going to be called that, and then he changed his mind, or changed it in some way. Because maybe he had the sun god idea come into it, and the
he did it.
Freedom and...
He really did not have to give the sun god a name. I don't know why he did. If he just said the sun god, we could have just hooked that all up to, you know,
Sun Pirates, Joy Boy,
Sun Pirates, Whole Cake Island. We could have just all, you know, merged it all together. I don't know why he gave it a name. He could have just said the sun god.
right?
Didn't have to call it Nika, but whatever, you know. A little complaint there, but there you go.
Maybe he wanted to. Maybe he wanted to duck the allegations of reincarnation, and
maybe.
That's how it turned out.
From Boss, with Saturn God, what is Devon's appearance going to be used for? Well,
Seraphim,
I would imagine. I imagine 1, the Seraphim. 2, it might be possible to still use Saturn as. Not every naval base will know that Saturn's dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? It can still be used in certain ways. But there was always issues with it because of the psychic link and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that.
Well, Garling, with Garling being semi-confirmed to be a strong swordsman along with Noshijiro, Mihawk's title still holds significant weight since there's so many swordsmen he either hasn't fought or won't fight.
Alright, so Garling's a proud man, we know that. He's a hunter, he's a competitor.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think he gives a fuck about a commoner in the underworld calling himself the world's strongest swordsman?
He might take issue with that.
Maybe he makes a comment about it, Christian.
But then again, he's working before them, so he's like, alright. He's under them as a warlord.
I don't know. Again, Oda, what are you doing with this title? Go to work, Oda. Go to work on it.
He's gonna go to work on that. He's gonna put a lot of work into Mihawk.
Yes.
From Gross Donks. Since York still has the Mother Flame, will they relocate it to Uranus since Egghead is burning to the ground? They will relocate it, probably to the Holy Land, you would assume.
Yeah.
Also, will Garling, as a new god of warrior science, use Uranus to invade Outback from the sky with the God Knights?
It's possible, but I don't know if...
I think they fear the Giants too much. They leave Albaf the fuck alone.
They also leave Wano the fuck alone.
They especially leave Albaf alone.
Right.
Especially. They've got ambassadors there. They're trying to keep them cool, calm. Because they know...
It'll be an issue.
If Albaf goes off, it's over.
Right.
Eric, Thor, Odin, coming down. They've tried for centuries to replicate the Giants.
They can't do it.
And they can't do it. So they fear the Giants too much. I don't know if anyone's going to be sent. Maybe a crack team of God Knights. Like 3 of them.
Yes.
And we get a little taste. But maybe that's it. But yeah. Regardless, no longer the leader of the God Knights, will the Silhouette Man in chapter 1121 fill his role? We don't even know who this man is. That's my issue with it. It's like how are we going to get hyped up for a character we don't even know getting the position? Garling has the groundwork.
Well, it's only hype if it connects to 907.
Yeah. Lastly, is the Silhouette Man possibly Shanks' brother Civ, who met the Gorosei in chapter 1009 to discuss his pirate daughter Bonnie? Do you think... Do you think... That would be weird. Why would it be Bonnie?
It's possible. Unless if he's like...
Because you gotta remember at the time, she was
possible.
in Morojoa at the time. She's literally there at the Revelry.
I'd have to do some math on how old this man is, but...
I mean, it's possible.
Right.
12 years old, he's probably 40, so well, yeah, it makes it, whatever.
Yeah, but when was Guinea there, etc.
Yeah, he's old enough, he's 40, you can fit it in.
Right.
Alright? But, again, Bonnie's there. So, she's at the Revelry. So just go pick her up. But what, you know. From Shari Naga. I don't know why I think there's a mystery and a twist involving Figure Lane family. Do you think it's possible that the Figure Lane family were Joy Boy's allies who betrayed him, thus making Imu a king? The Figure Lane family's obviously the Marshall family is a traitor.
The Marshall D.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Figure Man... The Figure Lands are clearly an important family in Mojo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the plotline's very interesting.
Yeah.
And Oda has to reveal that Shanks is a part of the family in canon, still. He hasn't really done it.
No.
It's only been in a movie. Suggested.
Suggested in a movie, yeah. From Abizandamar Mardi. I don't know. Fuck. These names. I don't know. Who's going to be the God Knight's leader? Do you think it's going to be the Shanks? Eric, everyone's just saying Shanks' brother is going to be the God Knight leader.
I mean, that's where it's going.
I mean, yeah. That's the obvious pick.
Right.
Who is strongest Gorosei now? Ethan or Garling? It's Garling. Garling's... He's got the sword, Eric. He's got the sword.
He's got the body.
Oda showed us a God Valley snippet and said, this man is on the same level as Roger, Whitebeard, and Garp.
And Rock.
So, again, people link what Whitebeard said to
Shanks.
Garling and Shanks.
Right. With the scars.
Yeah. From Damien. How long would you guess a Seraphim will operate before recharging is needed? At least a day?
Right, they were operational for a day, so...
Eric, Michael J's got a very fair and issued question for you. Why does Eric keep tweeting about spoilers? It's very interesting.
Because Joe baits me into conversations with his
Eric,
bullshit.
Eric, please stop. Just wait for the chapter to come out, alright?
Alright.
Please stop. You don't need to get into the trenches in the mud, alright? You don't need to sully yourself in the
People
mud.
start the narrative so early now.
I know. If you're on Twitter, you're basically gonna get spoiled.
But they start the narratives before the chapter's even out. Like even with the brief spoilers, they start the narratives.
I guess if you're on Twitter and you're in the One Piece community, you're basically signed up for spoilers.
And they say stupid shit.
You can't get baited into the mud.
Oh my god.
Alright. From Midnight Detective, why are people putting the God Knights over the Gorosei? Makes no sense. Because Dragon said it.
Yeah, Dragon highlighted them as the major issue.
From Darkoplex, he wants to take his credit, Eric. I was right. I was first to call it here. That Saturn will die, Garling will take his place. Now Garling is the solo ranking. He's put Garling as third strongest. He's number one. Stop.
The solo ranking is also stupid.
Also, wouldn't it be closest to Imu, the Earth? So Garling is the strongest because he's the moon?
Yeah, like, what, it's closest to Luffy, the sun.
So Walkyrie is stronger than Imu?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense, as I said before.
But Eric, he called Garling. So he'll take that credit. But I don't know about the strength credit. There you go. And there it is, Eric. There's the chapter. There's the episode.
Another great chapter. Christian, we don't know, there's no break, so we'll be getting some shit soon.
Very soon. Post-arc. Let's get into it. Let's get some crazy shit.
Half of me just kind of wants Albath to start in, like, Act 2 of the conflict. Do we need Act 1?
No.
Do we need, like, the Straw Hats to be like, oh,
Eric,
what the fuck?
Act 1 of every arc is always fun. Act 2 is the drag. Alright?
Let's just skip Act 2 then.
Like we did in Egghead. Fuck it. Skip Act 2.
And in Morge would argue they skipped it in Onigashima. There was no down swing.
Alright.
There was no
There was. Alright, whatever. There you go. Shakes the strongest, Shakes the God King.
Oh, good night. Now, Christian, I'm getting confused with OBS here. Where's the mouse? There it is.
He's gonna end it.